Hi, I'm Kat from Voice FM.
Hi, Kat. How you doing?
I'm good, and I've got Narelle here with me as well.
Hi, Vincent. It's Narelle. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
That's good.
How you going, you two?
Pretty good.
Pretty excited to be talking to you.
We've got a bit of that English cold weather at the moment, but we'll survive.
It's winter over. You don't really get winter, you know. I'm not having this. What is it, like 9 degrees, 10 degrees?
Well, we're in Ballarat and we've had days where it's been 4 degrees.
Oh.
We actually had snow last year.
Fair enough.
But no, England does get worse winters than us, I can guarantee you that. But
yeah, do you know what? I just moved. I moved back to London about a month ago, and before that, I lived in Paris for 7 years. And I just realised, you know, like some people are saying, "Okay, where are we talking to you today?" I'm in London. All right, nice one. But when I used to say Paris, it felt way better. Do you know what I mean? It just felt way cooler. Everyone would go, "Oh, Paris, yeah, it's fucking beautiful, man." You know, like, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? And but now, boggy London town.
But
nice actually today.
London's so punk rock.
Yeah. London's just basically got everything. It's a 24-hour party city, isn't it? It's got absolutely everything for going out.
Yeah.
And since I've been here, I've seen a brilliant West End show, 1984. I've seen great art exhibits. I've seen fucking great comedy. One of my favourite comedians, Stuart Lee, was in a pub basement round the corner from where I live. I've seen some fantastic gigs. I saw Godspeed You Black Emperor at the Roundhouse. It's just got everything, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, you're saying since you've been in London, but you're from Liverpool, and from here, Liverpool seems to be part of London to me. Is it not part of London?
No, it's about 200 miles away.
I thought it was like a suburb.
I thought it was only the Americans who couldn't do geography. Yeah, Liverpool's fantastic. Liverpool's another party city, but it's a very different place. Liverpool, it's one of those cities that they kind of pride themselves on being different, you know, and it is very different. There's a huge influx of immigration from over the years, from people from Ireland, from Wales, from Scandinavia, from the Caribbean, from everywhere. But Liverpool's a different kind of port. People don't really want to be English, you know. I think if they were given the choice, they would secede from England, you know, and just be their own little island, you know.
Yeah.
And it's an unusual place. People are cocksure, funny, very witty, very dry. They love to have a good time, and yeah, there's an incredible scene in Liverpool. I absolutely love the place. I'm so proud to come from there. There's a great scene at the minute. There's amazing bands and musicians in Liverpool. There's such a good music scene.
Can I ask, with Liverpool, is it still, like, how much of a shadow is the Beatles still cast on Liverpool?
It's a positive shadow, if anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, I think a lot of some of the most successful bands that have come out of Liverpool, they all quote the Beatles as an influence, you know. It's not one of those things. You'd think there'd be some kind of resentment there, but it just doesn't happen with the Beatles. I think they're just exempt, aren't they? They just exist on a different plane that, like, everybody's like, okay, yeah, all right. I admit they were fucking brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
I love all this stuff, you know. It was when I was a kid, it was mainly the rock and roll stuff that I used to listen to, like, through my mum, you know, because that was her era. But the latest stuff, like the second half of their career, I only really got into when I was about 15, 16, so quite late on, really, and that blew me fucking head off, you know. And they've been a massive inspiration for us, just in terms of that they had that progressive, evolutionary, forward-thinking mindset that they just wanted to try new things and never repeat themselves, you know. And the same could be said for Pink Floyd, same could be said for Radiohead in latter years. And I think that Anathema has that in common with those bands, really. We're always looking forward, we're always trying to, just look at the discography that we've put out. I think it's evident that we're not afraid of change, and we'll continue to do that. Speaking
of change, you actually started out with a different name and death metal, but was it when you changed your name to Anathema that you... We hardly even did any gigs, as under the other name. It's like, right now, it's like looking at a dusty childhood photograph where you've got some embarrassing trousers on. And occasionally you might get it out to show your friends and family, but you don't talk about it in public very much.
how we first started out originally was we were just a bunch of kids. We were two families. It was inevitable that we'd fall into music. I think it was kind of, other people spotted it before we did. We didn't even have any instruments. Some people said, "Oh, look, these are going to be musicians," because we're playing music and immersed in it 24/7, and it just became obvious, to other people. And eventually, I think Danny got a guitar. He'd been practicing for a couple of years. None of us had any instruments, but we just made a couple of tapes. Our old singer Darren had this little tape recorder, and Danny would be on guitar. And both me and John would both be drummers. We were both fighting for the drumming slot at that point. We both wanted to be the drummer. But we didn't have a drum kit. So what we'd do is we'd hit the drumsticks on the couch and put a magazine on the seat cushion for the snare, and just you'd roll the sticks over the back of the couch for the toms and things like that. That was literally how we started. And then we got some gear because some girl was having a birthday party, and we said, "Okay, can we play?" She goes, "Have you got a band?" We were like, "Yeah, we got a band." So, but we didn't really, we just flagged it. And we got some gear, we wrote a couple of tunes, and about a year later we had a record deal, so it just kind of happened really quickly. And it's really kind of, it was a total eye-opener. I'd never been anywhere, to begin with. I'd never been outside Liverpool, really. The furthest I'd been was about, an hour's drive away. Never been on any holidays or anything like that. And all of a sudden I was on tour, on a tour bus going through Europe. It was fucking mental. So it was great. So, I think even in the very early days we had that kind of mindset that we were never going to stay in one place for very long. We would always change and explore new things and see where the music could take us. And then we arrived at Weather Systems in 2012, having made 8 or 9 albums in the interim period, each one different from the last. A completely different band altogether by this point. And pretty much doing the same thing we always did, really. We approach each record with the idea that we've got to beat the last one, Okay, the last album was good, but we can do better. And I think that's been our mantra since day one. And Weather Systems was no different. It started out, that song, as an EP, and then expanded into a full album once we realised that EPs are just kind of not really worth it, You may as well do a record. We had half an hour's worth of music, which is this Weather Systems suite of songs. We had half an hour's worth of music. We're like, you know what? Let's just write 4 new songs and make an album, because this is too good to waste on an EP that people don't really pay attention to. Your album is like, to us, albums are a statement. It's your body of work. It's where you're at. An EP is kind of like an interim thing, and we didn't want to waste these songs on an interim thing. And if you're talking about the feelings or the emotions behind all of these songs, I mean, that happens naturally. We don't force any of that. None of it's contrived. And I guess it could have easily been called emotional systems, because that's what it deals with as the metaphor of weather systems is. It's about the storms of the mind, and those kind of things.
It sounds like obviously writing is a bit therapeutic for you now, but from what you were just saying then, I'm thinking that when you maybe changed your name to Anathema and that was kind of like when you grew up and decided to take it seriously. Yeah,
I guess so, yeah. I mean, because before that, I think even still, like the first couple of gigs as Anathema, we were still playing a couple of those joke songs, because that's really how we started. We started as a fucking Monty Python style joke band. We were just writing funny stuff to make each other laugh. And I still think we still did a couple of those tunes. But like having a record deal, we made a couple of demos and then we got a record deal straight away. And it was that really, probably more than anything else, that said, okay, this is serious, you've got to do something here. Because we had a record deal before we had a full album worth of material. So we are, okay, look, let's write songs. We've got a record deal, we're going to record in the autumn, let's fucking write some tunes. And that's where it all came together.
Was it just last year that you came to Australia for the first time?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Because actually, I personally hadn't heard of your band before you were coming here, and it was Narelle who told me about you, and she actually went and saw you in Melbourne.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and it was just fantastic. It was just a room full of emotion and last and lost and embracing all that amazing stuff that you were belting out.
Oh, that's cool. Do you know, for us as well, like just to turn up on the other side of the world after so many years of not knowing if anybody there knows our music or not. You know, it was mind-blowing. It was rewarding, but it also felt like very strangely familiar as well. Just the banter and the crack that you can have with people, like, it reminded us of home, you know.
Mm. Oh, it was packed. It was really great.
See, we actually got the other band that was on that day, The Eternal. We kind of know Mark Kelson a little bit, so it was cool to see him. We had a lot of fun, and I enjoyed the meet and greets as well, you know, because just getting a chance to meet all these people, and everybody was so cool and really relaxed. There was no dickheads, you know. It was just people were just very, very respectful and just fun, you know. It was kind of easy, laid back, you know. And then the gigs themselves were great.
And so I guess that has maybe helped inspire you to come back for your acoustic tour?
Yeah, definitely. It's opened the door. And on this tour as well, given the fact that we're playing a few other places, playing places like Adelaide and Perth that we never had a chance to get to last time, hopefully that's going to open the door for a full band tour next time out. We'll make another album in the meantime and then come back after that.
Cool.
But it was the people that really made it for me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you had a massive response. I came to the Melbourne one and it was absolutely packed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was really embracing it. It was awesome.
I'm looking forward to playing acoustic shows, right, because there's more of a kind of intimate sort of rapport with the audience, you know, so that's going to be interesting. It's different every night. It all depends on the crowd. Or the music can be a little bit... It's got a bit of scope for improvisation, that kind of thing, so the music's a little bit different every night. So each one of these things are more of a kind of unique sort of experience. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Have you been doing acoustic tours overseas? Is this something you've been doing for a while, or is it new to...
Yeah, actually, yeah. It's been doing it for a few years. Started off as just me and Danny, and then we brought Lee in as well. And the way it's kind of evolved over the years is it's not like a standard unplugged show. We use looper pedals. So Danny's actually physically tapping the rhythm out onto the acoustic guitar. Then we loop that. So then you've got your beat. Then with an octave pedal, you put your bass line in, and then you put your riffs over the top. And then I come over the top of that with kind of more of an ambient sound, like a synthy sort of sound on my guitar. We've got the piano. We've got the three voices. So in the end, it sounds pretty full. It can end up sounding like a kind of ambient band, and there's loads of energy in it. You know, there's kind of a lot of kind of banging rhythms and that kind of thing. So your songs have to be reimagined and reinterpreted a little bit in some cases, and that just makes it more interesting, really.
Well, do you write them acoustically to begin with?
No, not on it. We don't really write stuff on acoustic guitar. I don't think. Maybe a little bit now and again. We don't really have any rules about what instrument you start writing at. It just depends on how you're feeling that day, really. For me, I never write on acoustic guitar. I like playing acoustic guitar. I never write on it, though. I more often than not, I'll sit at a synth. I'll be writing stuff on, electronics, just producing stuff at home. And Danny will do something more often on a piano, and John is somewhere in between. So, yeah. Different with us. I think we've got a few sides to what we do. We've got the rock side, we've got the acoustic side, we've got the classical, and we've got this kind of electronic side as well. So, we don't really have any rules about what we do. It just depends on how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask about the amazing artwork that you produce on your albums and how you get those ideas.
Yeah. The last one, I didn't have much of a hand in the last one, Distant Satellites. A lot of that was from an installation in New York. This guy, Sang Jun Yu, who is a Korean artist living in New York, who created this installation called Distant Light. And it was his photography of the exhibition itself that kind of, it was more abstract, and it just fitted the music, at the time, really. I think it was John's idea, that one, to go in that direction. But previous to that, I've kind of had a hand in all the records, and visual arts is something I'm really, really interested in. It's a lot of work if I have to do it myself, so I try to stay away from that if possible. I like to work with other people. But I have produced covers from scratch myself, but it's not something I enjoy doing because it's usually because it's last minute and we haven't managed to work with anybody else. Okay, someone's got to do the cover. And my phone goes, can you get this cover sorted? Okay, all right, yeah. When's it going to be done by? What, tomorrow? Okay, all right, yeah. Let me see what I can do. And I love art. I love that side of things, but it's not something I really want to do too much of, to be honest with you. I want to concentrate on music.
Yeah, there's a lot of things actually that I would have liked to have talked to you about, and I'm sure Narelle's the same. But
yeah.
A lot of time, unfortunately, but maybe we can have a chat when we're over there.
We can get to Melbourne.
Nice one.
Yeah, no, it would have been great to have longer, but I'm sure someone else is waiting, so I better wrap it up a bit. Anathema will be in Australia from the 27th of October, and you will be in Melbourne at the Corner Hotel on the 31st of October before going to Perth. And people can find out more about you at facebook.com, Anathema Music, or anathema.ws is your website.
Yep.
I'm actually really looking forward to this acoustic tour in October, and at least the weather's going to be warm for you, then it'll be nice.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
Thank you very much. It has been awesome. Is there something you'd quickly like to throw into your Australian fans?
Yeah, bring us stuff. Bring us Australian things. Doesn't have to be expensive. Something you made yourself. It could be anything. But we like presents.
Tim Tams and Vegemite.
Yeah, why not?
All right, we will remember that. We've got to bring presents for Anathema when they're in Australia doing their acoustic tour. I look forward to it. I'll pick something special out for you. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Thanks, Vincent.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.